Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today's video is going to be kind of like a roundup, like a luxury roundup of everything that I've purchased in 2021. More or less, more for me to be able to keep track of what I've purchased this year and whether or not this aligned with my 2021 wish list and no buys. And then afterwards, in I guess the next video or a couple videos from now, I wanted to share with you guys my 2022 luxury wish list along with some other like miscellaneous other wish list things too. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. Really quickly before we start, I just want to make a disclaimer that this is in no way at all bragging. I just wanted to share with you guys what I have purchased this year and compare it to what I said I would and wouldn't purchase this year to see if it aligns up and to hold myself accountable for next year. This is my very first year actually doing this, comparing year over year what I said I'd buy versus not buy and then what I actually ended up with. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I haven't watched any of my videos yet, and hopefully this makes sense and I wasn't being overly spendy and wasting money for no reason at all. So let's just jump into the very first thing that I bought this year. So the very first thing I actually bought this year was my double flap in tweed. This is a classic medium size. I actually looked this up online after I took a look at the serial code inside of the authenticity card, and I believe this is from the 2011 collection. So she is a little old. She's a decade old, but she was in very, very good condition. I actually bought this one off of the Real. I've been searching for the perfect tweed for so long, and then I came across this one in like the ideal colors that I would like. There's another one too that I think is a recent one from 19 that has a Chanel ribbon running through it. Goal is down the road to maybe acquire that for myself. I don't know if I want it in the medium. So far, the medium is my favorite size in Chanel bags. So I think I might collect a couple more of those with like different textures and materials. But I am obsessed with this one. And I actually get so much more wear out of this than I thought I would. I was very hesitant at first because typically tweed is known to be a delicate material. It snags a lot, it pills and bunches quite a bit. This one, obviously, yes, it does snag and pill, but if you're careful with it, and I just pull off the pills every once in a while on the edges, and I try not to wear it against any, I don't know, like outfits that have like sequins or glitter or things that could stick to it that would really cause damage to this bag. And I think it's held up pretty well overall. When I first received this from the Real, it was in almost like brand new condition, and it's still in really, really good condition right now. I kind of consider this more as my fall winter bag because it gives like cozier vibes because of the tweed. I would love to get like maybe a lighter fun colored print tweed for the summertime. I think that'd be really cute for beach season, but I love it so far. And I do remember saying that a tweed bag was on my bag wish list. So I do feel like this one kind of like check that off, and it wasn't a frivolous purchase on the side that didn't count towards what I promised myself I wouldn't buy. So yeah, very happy with this purchase this year. Next up on my luxury purchases list, I believe, actually is the bandolier LV strap. This is the one that I got. You guys may have definitely seen this in a previous video, especially when I showed you how to convert and wear your Toiletry 26 pouch as a crossbody. So I intentionally purchased this one to turn this into a crossbody. I already have straps for this bag from Samorga. They have wonderful straps there. I'll include my discount code down below in the description box if you guys do want to check it out and make a purchase there. I don't make any sort of commission off of it. It's just as a thank you to you guys because you support my videos and I just want to be able to give back somehow. So you do get a discount. Make sure to check it down below. But yes, I originally wanted an LV branded strap for this so that it would look like a cohesive bag that you would buy on its own. So which is why I picked up this bandolier strap. I really like this one because it's adjustable and you can actually make it longer if you want. These ends kind of like slide together and turn into like a full crossbody bag if you want to use it on a duffel. I believe the bandolier is like a larger bag anyways. So it's really great down the road if I do want to buy one of their duffel bags. I plan to buy a keep ball for me to travel with, and this is going to be a great one to add on to there so I can put it onto my shoulder and bring it around with me everywhere I go. Also, if I want to attach this to another bag, I could. I'm not personally the biggest fan of mixing matching straps and bags for different designers and brands unless one of them is like very nondescript, but it's nice to be able to kind of like, I guess, elevate one of my other more simpler non-branded bags if I can attach this to it. So love this, great purchase. I don't regret it whatsoever at all. It definitely was not on my wish list and like things that I wanted to buy for this year, but because I found it to be so functional, I'm quite happy with this one. Down the road, I do plan to be able to use this towards my other LV bags as well. I did mention that I bought the Toiletry 19. I haven't bought an insert for it yet with the D-rings that I can attach this to, but once I do, I will then test it out and let you guys know how I feel about using that 19 size as a crossbody bag as opposed to just a cosmetics pouch. Next up was a very special purchase, which I almost put off getting because the one that I wanted was essentially sold out and it was crazily marked up online, but they released purchased a new one this year, and I got it, which is my Dior book tote. And this is in the reverse toile de Jouy print in the navy blue. I originally wanted this when it came out in the beige and black version, but that sold out everywhere, and I believe that was part of the very first toile de Jouy release, which is why it like went like hotcakes. Such a good price. I like pinch myself each time and wish I got it then, because it definitely went up by like I think almost $2,000 since it was first released, and now I'm just like, why am I paying this much for a canvas bag? But I knew I had my heart set on this for the longest time ever, and I wouldn't regret it. So I decided to make the purchase once I saw that they released this one, because this print is amazing. They have the original one, which actually has like a white backing to it, and then it has like a blue embroidery. But my goal was to be able to take this bag traveling with me and to potentially use it as a diaper bag too. So I didn't want such a light colored bag that I could potentially risk staining, because I do know some people with the lighter versions of these bags and they do say that it stains. So I thought to myself, if I'm gonna pay this much, I don't want to see it get damaged, so might as well get a darker one. And when this one came out, I was like, yes, this is perfect. So I made the plunge, actually purchased it, and found out that Dior actually overproduced on their book totes, so they dropped the prices a little bit just to get supply out there. And it was great for me because I managed to get it a little bit cheaper than what it was a couple months ago. So this is the book tote in the larger size. I did compare the small and the large one. Do I regret the large size? No, because I fit so much in this when I was traveling, and theoretically I still had a little bit of space afterwards. And I think that it's a really good size for a diaper bag too, because you can put a lot of stuff into here. Had I gotten a smaller one, I think it definitely would be lighter and easier to use, but my intention was to buy this bag as like a giant empty black tote that I could just put whatever into and just have like that giant black hole there. So I think if I went with the smaller size, it wouldn't have been as functional as I intended it to be. So I'm quite happy with the larger size. Loving this one. Haven't had to really use it yet because it's a little chilly outside and our baby does not really fit into his winter clothes yet. So until he grows a little bit bigger and I can get him snuggled up into winter stuff, and then I can put him into the stroller, then I can really test out this diaper bag and take him out and about. And I think that will then be when I can ultimately give you guys a full review on the book tote as a proper diaper bag. So I brought that Dior book tote with me on my very first and last trip with it before it got retired to become a diaper bag, and that was to Spain. And while I was in Spain, I managed to locate my Avalon blanket from Hermes. This is in the caramel color. I thought it was going to be called gold. I actually don't know if it's called caramel or if there's another name for it, but we're gonna call it caramel because it's for sure not the gold color that everyone thinks the brown always is. And I recently found out that Hermes has like 50 different shades of brown with different names, so we're not gonna call it those colors if we don't know it. Anyways, this is a gold one and it is in this brown and kind of grayish print. I love this so much. I have been trying to track down this blanket for the longest time in Canada, and Toronto just barely ever gets any stock to begin with. And since I don't spend that much at Hermes, I don't think my SA would ever really put me on a priority list to find this one, let alone give me this one, because this color is constantly requested for. I think it's between this one and the black one, so they sell out really, really fast. We walked into the Hermes in Spain on a whim just to see if they would have it, and lo and behold, it was on a shelf, so I was really excited, and I snatched this one up and brought it home with me. It was the last one in, I think, Spain at the time. Yeah, and they had recently sold another one like the day before because they literally just got this in shipments, so I lucked out hard, and this is actually the only designer thing I brought home with me from Europe on that trip. Quite proud of myself. I resisted. I was very tempted to buy some other things. If you guys saw my vlog, then you'll know that we also went to Portobanu and I tried to visit the Hermes and Dior there to see if I could find anything else. I did, but I resisted and didn't buy stuff. So this is actually the only designer thing that I brought home with me from Spain. It filled up my whole luggage, took so much space. Had I known I'd be able to find this there, I probably would have packed a little bit less to make space for it. But alas, you never really quite know. So yeah, I mean, it worked out. I got everything home and I'm quite happy with myself. Now my goal is to get the 2 matching pillows and then I'll have a whole complete set. This is currently sitting on our couch, but I do want to get kind of like a blanket ladder to lean up against the wall next to the couch to put this on, because I don't really intend for this blanket to be functionally used every single day. It's more like a decor piece, and then like obviously yes, if you want to use it you can. I'm not going to say no, but I don't necessarily gravitate to this blanket because I want to keep it in really, really good condition. But love this one and so happy to finally have this one and check it off on my list. It wasn't really on my 2021 wish list per se, but it was in the back of my head as to one of the wish list things in Hermes that like I really wanted, and I'm just happy that I now have it in my possession. So as you guys know, I absolutely love my Louis Vuitton Toiletry 26 pouch. This is a phenomenal size, and I bought that strap so that I can convert it into a crossbody bag. And then halfway through the summer, apparently it went viral online that LV was discontinuing all their toiletry pouches, so everybody stormed LV to try to get a hold of all the other smaller ones. I really wanted to complete the whole set, so I wanted to get my hands on the 19, and the 15, and I did. I asked my SA to get me one, and he secured me the little 19 size. I love it. I do wish that I could have purchased this in Europe though. I tried every store that I could while we were in Spain, and they were constantly out of stock, so I said, you know what, screw it, I'll just buy it here. It's not going to save me that much in the grand scheme of things because it is on the smaller side. I believe you could consider this as an SLG because it is a small leather good, even though it's mostly canvas. There is vachetta leather on the end here, but this is the 19. It's quite small compared to the 26. I'll hold it up side by side so you guys can see, and I do want to get my hands on the 15 as well, which is like super small, and that I think definitely will be a toiletry pouch. It would look ridiculous if I wore that as a crossbody, or else it'll essentially just become like a card holder. But my goal is to eventually get the 15 and to complete this whole little trio. I think it would be so cute just to have displayed on a shelf like this with another small one in the front here. I haven't actually yet really gotten the chance to use this too much because I did want to use this as a crossbody, and since I don't have an insert with the D-rings to attach a strap to, haven't really gotten a chance to use it. And I essentially got this like right before we went to Spain, and then when I came back we were pregnant with, well, I didn't get pregnant in Spain, I was already pregnant at that point, but when we came back I was like really heavily pregnant and we were moving, and I just haven't really had time to go out and use it yet. But I do intend to use this as a smaller crossbody. Maybe if I use like another diaper bag and I just want something on the side that I can throw my cards and my phone into while we're out and about with the baby and taking him out for like a walk or something down the road. But I do really like it, and I think it's going to convert really well into a cosmetics pouch down the road too. And because it also is in the classic monogram print, I think overall in the grand scheme of things, as time passes, I still will love it, and I won't feel like one of those like trendy one-offs. So super cute. And if I do decide to sell it down the road, I probably could, because everyone's always reaching for these little plastic toiletry pouches, and they are a little harder to get a hold of. You do have to be put on a wait list. So yeah, I do love it very much. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to share with you guys is actually two things I bought at the same time, but I'm going to show it to you one at a time, and I'll let you know my thoughts on them. They're kind of more impulse purchases. I was out and about on a run with Mel, and we were on Bloor, and we were just shopping, and I saw them and I liked them, so I was like, okay, let's pick them up at that point. So I went into Hermes, and I've been looking for a twilly for my Dior bag, and I didn't really love the Dior twillies because I wanted to get one that I could put on the handles of my book tote, and all the ones that I loved that were in the colors that matched this were the toile de Jouy print. I didn't want it to be over toile de Jouy done if I wrapped the handles, and the intention was to wrap the handles so that my oils from my hands wouldn't stain the white canvas part. I realized after coming back from Spain that it was a little bit more tinted darker up here now from like the sweat from my hands, and I didn't want to damage the bag, so I figured let's get some twillies to wrap it up and to give it some sense of security. So I went into Hermes. You can't really tell once you wrap a twilly onto a handle anyways, like the pattern is kind of off, so it's hard to really know exactly which brand it is. I just wanted something that wasn't like TDJ on TDJ. So yes, we went into Hermes. I love their twillies to begin with. I actually don't even have one yet, so I figured let's start my collection. I found this really cute blue one. When you wrap it on, you don't really see a lot of this print, so it's not the biggest deal. I don't personally love the print, but I love the color that it creates once it's wrapped onto that bag, and it gives it a little pop of like brown and yellow too with the motifs and print that are on here. The only problem with these is that I found that they're actually shorter and skinnier than the actual Dior mitzvahs. That's what Dior calls them, mitzvahs. So when I wrapped this onto the handle of my book tote, it didn't quite complete it. There was like an inch or two of space left, and trust me, I spent like 10-15 minutes trying to wrap it and rewrap it and to stretch it as long as I could, and no matter how hard I tried, I was never able to fully wrap the handle. So I gave up, and I actually ended up doing this like a month after I bought it, and at that point Hermes's exchange period, which is 30 days, had exceeded itself, so I couldn't exchange it for a different one. I was actually going to go back in store and return this and get a full scarf of a different print that I really liked, but since I couldn't, I am now stuck with this. Regardless, I think it's still like a very pretty willy nonetheless, and down the road I might be able to attach this to another Hermes bag that I have, so I am keeping this one. This definitely was not on a 2021 wish list item. I just had it at the back of my head that I wanted a twilly as a functional piece to be able to protect my Dior bag, and once I acquired it, it didn't quite work out the way I wanted to, so I probably will go back and keep an eye out for mitzvahs from Dior, and if I see one that I like, then I'll pick it up for that book tote. But in the meantime, this one is going to sit on the back burner in my collection and wait for its day to grace an Hermes bag, which I don't currently own yet, and I will touch base on which ones I want in my 2022 wish list. But yeah, this is a twilly that I have. It's not really being put to use. Do I regret it? A little bit. I know down the road I'll probably be able to have used to it, so I don't really hate this purchase. But yes, this is one that I did acquire this year. And on that same shopping trip, I actually also picked up something else, which was on my personal wish list. I can't remember if I shared it in my 2021 wish list, but I got the Oran sandals in gold. So this is a brown leather. As you guys know, I have the white ones, and I absolutely love them. They're so comfortable. I get so much wear out of them that I figured let's pick them up also in the gold color. I do also want the black, so I'll cover that in my 2022 wish list video as well. But everywhere that I've been, these brown ones have always been sold out everywhere. I tried when we were in Spain. I've tried in Toronto many times. And that one time that I was in, that I spoke to a different SA, he managed to unearth these for me in my size. And I was like, oh my God, you literally crossed off one of my own personal Hermes wish list items. He also managed to get Mel a pair of shoes that she's been tracking down for the longest time too. So it was just a very serendipitous and successful day. Minus the twilly that I can't really use for what I wanted to use it for, I was quite happy with this acquisition. So this one has been checked off of my personal wish list and an Hermes wish list item. So this year I think I might try to go for the black ones, and then I'll have my whole collection of white, black, and gold, and I'll be quite happy with all the Oran sandals that I have. So the very last luxury purchase of the year, and you guys will have seen the video that just went up, I believe it was last month, and that was my Chanel 2021 19 small in the caramel color. So this is a recent acquisition. I've only started using it, and I managed to pick it up right before the baby came, so we haven't been out that much since. I know that I'll be able to put this into use a lot more in the new year once we start to go out with him a little bit more, because it is such a versatile bag and you can fit so much in it. It's quite pliable too, so you can stretch it a little bit, although don't worry, I will be quite careful with this bag. But everyone that I've spoken to that has this bag absolutely loves it, loves its shape, loves its form and how much it can carry and its overall capacity, and I just love the color. This is actually, I think, one of my first brown bags, minus the toiletry pouches. They're kind of brown, but not really brown leather, and it is on my list to acquire a couple more because I want to deviate away from blacks. I have a lot of black bags already, and I kind of want to expand my portfolio a little bit. So I'm quite happy with this purchase, and this was the most recent one. I think all in all this past year, not including the 19 toiletry pouch, I have 4 new bags in total. This is more, I don't really count this as a handbag because I haven't really used it as a handbag yet, and it's more intentionally designed to be as like a smaller like toiletry bag that you insert into other ones. So in total we have 3, which is the Chanel tweed, the Chanel 19, and the Dior book tote, 1 pair of shoes from Hermes, the Hermes blanket, and 1 Hermes twilly. I think all in all, I didn't do too much damage. I've definitely done worse in previous years, but this has been quite the fairly decent size luxury haul this year. I have a lot on my wish list for next year already, and I did tell myself I was going to slow down, and I probably should slow down a little bit now that the baby's here. Our plan is to divert a lot of our spending more towards him and spend less on ourselves, so we'll see. I probably will only get a couple of things off of my wish list for the next year. It's not the end of the world if I don't get them all, but yeah, stay tuned for a video where I share everything that I want to kind of put on there and manifesting for the next year. I believe that the power of these videos is to help me manifest, so if I say it out loud, I'll be able to acquire them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and getting a roundup of all of like the luxury products that I've purchased this year. I will include links to all the videos that feature them if I did an unboxing or a review down in the description bar below, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Let me know if you guys would like to see more videos like this next year where I kind of do an encompassing haul at the end of the year as to everything that I bought in that year as well. And stay tuned for an updated wish list video where I share everything that I do want to get for 2022. I think I'm also going to do a comparison video and kind of like react to my 2021 one to see if I managed to check everything off, or if I checked certain things off and didn't check other things, and if I just bought things that were not meant to be purchased. Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got to see everything that I did pick up this year. Let me know which pieces are your favorite, and if you have any of the same ones as me. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and as you know, if you want to see more of me, you can always find me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm on both of those platforms quite frequently, a little bit more than here, and we're going to try to stay consistent into the new year with 2 videos a week, even with a baby. I'm going to keep myself accountable for that. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I will see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.